NFL fans, welcome back to the J All Day Sports Show. I'm giving you my final predictions for Week 15. We started off the week really well with the Rams beating San Francisco in San Francisco and a tough, gritty, low-scoring game in the pouring down rain. But I knew the Rams were going to win, and they got the W for us. We went 9-4 last week, and we're what? 64-21 over the last 5 weeks, guys. We're absolutely crushing it. We also, if you're interested in sports betting, hit a 9-leg parlay last week, 16 times in your money. Check out my memberships, only $5 a month to get all my picks each and every week. Okay, let's kick off Week 15, a full slate. We got 15 games. Baltimore Ravens on the road taking on the New York Giants. There's not much to say about this game. The Ravens, it's a must-win game, and they are 10 times the team the New York Giants are. The Giants are yet to win at home. Tommy DeVito is going to be the quarterback in this spot, with Drew Lock being banged up a little bit. The offense is inept. The offensive line's not very good. Dexter Lawrence is done for the foreseeable future, probably the rest of the year. No pass rush, a terrible secondary. Good luck, New York, taking on the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens win in dominant fashion and, in my opinion, cover this spread. Next up, guys, we got the Washington Commanders coming off a bye, taking on the New Orleans Saints. No Derek Carr this week, guys, so it's probably going to be the rookie Spencer Rattler, who had mixed results in his short playing stint when Carr was hurt earlier in the year. He didn't look great. The offensive line's not very good. The defense is just mediocre. I don't know about the coaching staff there, but the Commanders coming off a bye in a must-win game, right? The Packers, the Vikings, Commanders, all in the mix for those last few playoff spots. The Commanders got to keep pace, right? They got to win this game. 2 weeks to prepare for a mediocre team. I like the Commanders in this spot for sure. I'm taking the Washington Commanders to win this game on the road and get one step closer to a playoff berth with Jaden Daniels, who I'm a huge fan of. I think Terry McLaurin balls out in this spot. Kamara probably has a big game for the Saints because not a lot of offense going on. I'm expecting to be a lot of underneath stuff. So if you're into fantasy, look at Alvin Kamara. Next up, we got the Kansas City Chiefs, Cleveland Browns. I want to pick an upset here. I really, really do. And you know what, guys? I'm picking the upset. The Cleveland Browns get the win over the Kansas City Chiefs. I really like the way the Cleveland Browns match up versus the Chiefs. They have a really good pass rush. What player on the Chiefs is going to block Myles Garrett? Patrick Mahomes got the shit kicked out of him last week. It's going to be even worse against the Browns. Denzel Ward, the cornerback, has been playing really, really well. I just like the way the Browns match up in this spot. I think Jameis Winston balls out, and Cleveland just gets it done towards the end of the game. I'm going with the Cleveland Browns to get an upset here at home. Next up, we got the Bengals versus the Titans. 5-point spread. I like the Bengals and the points, -5. I think they cover the spread. I really like the Bengals to win this game. The Titans defense had a good stint earlier in the year, but they've kind of come back down to earth the last few weeks. And they don't have a lot of weapons on offense. They signed Calvin Ridley to that monster deal. They got Tony Pollard, but they got a below-average offensive line, a below-average quarterback. Could they put up some points? Probably, because the Bengals defense is an absolute dumpster fire. I got to take a look at the depth chart again and see if the Bengals O-line is starting to get a little bit healthier. But I'm expecting Joe Burrow to put up at least 25, 27 points. I don't think the Titans can keep up with that. I like the Bengals in this spot. Next up, I like the Miami Dolphins straight up and with the points. I really, really think the Miami Dolphins get it done in this spot. The Houston Texans offense has not been very good. Straight up. I love Joe Mixon. I love their weapons. But the offensive line has been pretty horrific, guys. And the Dolphins, it's a must-win game. And the weather's going to be good. Even though the Dolphins are playing on the road, they're not going up to Green Bay in the freezing cold. It's going to be a good environment to play in Houston, right? I like the Miami Dolphins to win this game. I think they get it done. The defense is one of the most underrated defenses in the entire NFL. And C.J. Stroud in this offense, they have big plays here and there, but they're very inconsistent. They're always playing behind the sticks. There's always some sort of bullshit false start or holding that gets them, first and 15, first and 20. And playing behind the sticks is never good. One of the most penalized teams in the NFL. That's why I'm taking the Miami Dolphins to get the upset. Next up, the battle of the bums. The complete and utter dumpster fire that is the New York Jets and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mac Jones versus Aaron Rodgers. It should be a slam dunk for the Jets. But it's probably going to be a closer game than people think. But I think the Jets are just, the offense has been playing a little bit better. The defense is still considerably underachieving. Since Robert Saleh left, the defense has kind of been scrambling a little bit. But the Jaguars just aren't very good. They got a mediocre defense, a below average offense. I think the Jets get the victory here, probably cover the spread as well. Next up, we got the Dallas Cowboys versus the Carolina Panthers. I've been going back and forth on this. But you know what? The Dallas Cowboys are a better football team. I'm an Eagles fan, and it hurts me to say that. But they're better than their record suggests that they are. They really are. Cooper Rush has played okay the last few weeks. The Carolina Panthers still have a very below average defense. And I think I'm going with the Cowboys to win this game. And then you got to take the points, right? So I love the Dallas Cowboys in this spot. I think they win. It's going to be probably a close, trashy game, but I actually trust Cooper Rush with the football more than I trust Bryce Young. Bryce Young might throw some picks. I think Micah Parsons wants some revenge from that loss last week. They did lose Overshown for the rest of the year, which really, really sucks. I'm a big fan of his. He was really fun to watch. I think the Cowboys win this game. Next up, my Philadelphia Eagles take on the Pittsburgh Steelers, a very, very good football team. The Pennsylvania Bowl. The Eagles are given 5 points. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers and the spread, but I'm going to go with the Eagles to win this game in a close game. From a betting perspective, guys, I would avoid this game altogether. It could really go either way. What Philadelphia Eagles team is going to show up? The Pittsburgh Steelers defense, especially against the run, is very shreddable. I'm expecting Saquon Barkley to have a monster day, and that's why I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game. The offensive line is healthy. Saquon's healthy. And A.J. Brown, how about you stop being such a little whiny bitch? You win 9 games in a row. You're supposed to be a captain of this team. If you have a problem with one of your players, go into an office room and talk to them. Don't talk to the media like a little 5-year-old girl who's sad that their dad stole their cookies. Just stop. You've won 9 games in a row. I know Jalen Hurts has missed some opportunities where you were open in the middle of the field. We get it. Jalen Hurts, he's an above average quarterback, but he's not Josh Allen. He's not Patrick Mahomes. Stop your whining. You won 9 games in a row and get ready for the playoffs and win this game. And let's see what you got, bro. Just stop your bitching. Colts, Broncos. I like Denver in this spot at home. The problem with Anthony Richardson is he's highly inaccurate, right? He completes like less than 60% of his passes. How do you think that goes in the freezing cold in Denver and the thin air? I like the Broncos. They play really tough defense, smash mouth defense. I think Anthony Richardson throws 2 interceptions and the Broncos win this game. Probably cover the spread too. Buffalo Bills, Detroit Lions. I'm taking the Lions at home. The Buffalo Bills defense and those zone looks, when they play very explosive offenses, they play this bend and not break defense. But when you play a very efficient, highly skilled offense, there is no just bending. You just break and you give up 40 points like they did last week to the Rams. That's exactly what's going to happen here. I like the Detroit Lions to win and cover the spread. Next up, we got the Patriots at the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona, it's a must-win game. It's a must-win game. Spread-wise, I'm not getting involved with this game at all whatsoever. Drake May's coming off a bye. The Cardinals have not looked good the last few weeks. The Cardinals probably should cover the spread, but I don't like this from a betting perspective at all whatsoever. The Cardinals are a lot better of a roster, but they just find ways to lose football games. I think the Cardinals win. They got to get Trey McBride involved earlier in the offense. They didn't really get him involved until it was too late last week, right? Get him involved often and early, and that's going to open up the running game. That's going to open up things down the field for Marvin Harrison Jr. I like the Cardinals in this spot. Buccaneers, Chargers. I like the Chargers to win this game outright and also cover the spread. I'm actually going to add this to my bets this week. So if you follow my bet content, I will be adding the Chargers to cover the 2.5 points. The Buccaneers defense has been pretty awful. Antoine Winfield is hurt again. They're a very shreddable defense. Bryce Young was extremely efficient, 2 weeks ago against them. I don't like their defense at all whatsoever. And Baker Mayfield continues poor decisions, throwing interceptions. The Chargers got a good pass rush. They play solid defense, run the ball down your throat kind of offense. I like the Chargers to win this game and cover the spread. Next up, Sunday Night Football. Green Bay Packers, Seattle Seahawks. I've been going back and forth on this game all week. I don't know what to do. Guys, help me. I'm just kidding. The Seahawks are really tough to play at home. I just think the Packers are better. I think the Seahawks have been winning close games by the skin of their teeth. Defense has been playing better, and the offense has a ton of weapons. DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, but Tyler Lockett's kind of MIA, man, in this offense. I don't know what the hell's going on. They need to get him more involved. I just like the Packers, but I got to check if Jair Alexander is playing. It's still up in the air, guys, so I don't know if he's playing or not. If you see any updates on Jair Alexander, let me know. This is how I'm going with this game. If Jair Alexander suits up, I'm taking the Packers. If not, I'm going with the Seahawks. As of right now, I'm taking the Packers because I think Alexander will suit up in a must-win game for the Packers. I'm going with the Packers. But if Alexander's out, I might flip-flop. I'll send you guys a bet alert or a pick alert later in the weekend. All right, Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings. We've got 2 games on Monday night, guys. Bears, Vikings, Falcons, Raiders. The Vikings are going to dominate. They're at home. The Bears, I don't know. When they fired Shane Waldron, they looked good for a couple weeks. And then when their head coach got fired, the wheels kind of fell off, and they looked horrific last week. Absolutely terrible. Vikings win and dominate. I think the Vikings cover the spread as well. Atlanta Falcons, Raiders. Gardner Minshew's done for the year. Aiden O'Connell is hurt again. He's out. Looks like Desmond Ridder is going to be the guy for the Raiders at home. The Falcons just seem to lose every game. They can't figure it out. Kirk Cousins has been horrific, guys. If he has another bad first half, I expect Michael Penix Jr. to take over at the quarterback position after halftime. We'll see what happens. I'm going with the Falcons to win because Desmond Ridder sucks. Brock Bowers, I love him, and I love Max Crosby. I wish they could just take Max and Brock and put them on contenders because I feel bad for those dudes because they're ballers. But, the Falcons are a better football team, but their pass rush sucks. So if they don't get in Desmond Ridder's face, maybe they carve him up a little bit. I think it's going to be a close game. Betting-wise, avoid this game like the plague, guys. I'm going to go with the Falcons, but I'm not 100% confident in that pick. If the Raiders won at home, I would not be surprised at all whatsoever. So it might not be a bad idea to take the Raiders and the 4 points. And you can buy a point and a half, get it probably in that minus 150, 160 range at, plus 5.5. I like that bet for the Raiders. All right, guys, there are my final picks for Week 15. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Me, my wife, my dad, and my daughter, and the pooch, we're doing a cross-country road trip from LA to Philadelphia. I'm going to be doing a ton of live streams and live content, so make sure you check that out on our crazy road trip. Again, thank you guys so much for the support of the channel. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace.